Hello everyone, welcome back to your channel the Ghatiya Insaan. In today's video, we'll be building a basic chatbot. We'll be sending a prompt and see how the responses come. Okay, so two files we're going to create. First will be the LLM.py, okay, in which we will try to create a client to connect to the foundation model present in Amazon Bedrock. So when I'm saying client, what does it mean? Through this client, we will be sending the request to the LLM for the foundation model in Amazon Bedrock. Okay, so let's first create this file. Okay, so see, I'm showing you clearly. See, I have also kept code open. Okay, it's not that I have learned or something expert, right? I am also learning, so I can also make mistakes. I will check. Same way you also need to do. Okay, right? You watch the video, write down the code by yourself. You will do mistakes. I will do mistakes. By doing mistakes, slowly we both will learn. Okay, okay. So the first thing what we need, as you would have remembered, like in lecture 10, we had installed some of the libraries at the end, like LangChain AWS, Boto3, python-dotenv, right? All these we will be using. Okay, so like the first, let's start writing the code from dot env. Okay, from this library, I want to import what dot dot env. Okay, what does this mean? I am importing a node.env function from .env module. Got it? Other is import. What I am doing? Importing the complete module. Now you would be thinking here, I am importing .env using from, and here I am doing import os. What is the difference between the both? As I know Java, let me make you relate with that. This is how we write the comment in Python, right? See, in Java program, there is a class, right? In that class, there are multiple functions, right? I hope you are able to relate, right? So consider this class as a module, and the functions are the one which we can like which we can import as individual, individual, or complete module we can import. So getting, so here what I have done, consider this as a module. From that module, I am importing a single function. Okay, and here what I am doing, I am importing a complete module, and this may have different functions, right? And if you remember in Java, we used to how to call the object and how to access functions like obj.kel, right? So same way, from this OS, when we want to access some functions, we will be doing like os.getenv, right? Don't worry, we'll see this below. Getting the difference between the two. Now, similarly, we need to import from LangChain AWS module, import chat, bedrock, and root. Getting this will enable us to connect, okay, connect or return the client to connect to that foundation model. Okay, so first what will we do? We will run this function. Okay, that moment this Python program will run, this will run. What this will do is this will load the values from the environment variable. What is this environment variable? In this environment variable, we will be keeping the AWS region in which we want to connect the foundation model. As you know, this Amazon Bedrock is a region specific service, right? Okay, so models that you are selecting in one region, not necessary it will be available in another region. You are new to AWS, just understand this thing, right? It is region specific. Okay, so model available in one region may not be available in other region. Okay, and it's recommended you select the model from your closest region. So I am from India, I will be selecting Mumbai region. Okay, getting this is what is doing. I have you got. I hope you got it right. Now let's write the function. Find get LM. See, this is how we write function in Python. It is should start with a div. Okay, and similarly we will give you a parenthesis. Just will call an it auto indentation, right? So what we need to do now here, we want region, want region. Okay, so from where we are storing in the environment variable, storing in the environment variable. What will be storing? There will be a field name AWS region. Okay, and if that field is not existing, then to handle that fallback, I am automatically adding AP South1. Okay, this is the reason in which I will be connecting the foundation model. Now, there is a function called chat bedrock convert, right? So this chat bedrock converts, which will do, it will take as a parameter. What it will take as a parameter is, see, it will take model, and this model, if you remember in the previous video, I had mentioned we will add here inference profile ID. You remember, sir? This one, 11 here, this one, right? So we will be needing only part. You can write the complete also, but this minimal part is also okay. This part is also okay. You can copy it down. Let's come back here. So here we will mention the model by instance profile ID. Then what we need is a region name. Is a region name. Okay, and that we will be adding region. That is the variable that we have added above, right? Then what is needed is temperature. Remember, temperature controlling the creativity, right? Minimum value is 0 and maximum value is 1. When it is 0, then it is giving controlled response, right? Okay, the actual response means very accurate response, but it is not that creative. And at 1, it is very creative and giving some random response. So let's keep it 0.2 in between something. Okay. Now, what is the maximum tokens? Okay, that is the maximum uh, tokens that we want as output. Okay, within this token only the output will be generated, right? All these concepts we have discussed in the previous video, right? Just go back to this video if you are getting confused, like what is this temperature and max tokens. Max token. So let's say save the money 125. Okay. So let me type down here also, controlling the creativity of the foundation model. Getting. So once this is done, this is what it return. This will return a object, and this object will be the client. This object will be the client that will enable us to connect to the foundation model. Getting. So what is this function? This function is for function creates and returns a client to connect to the foundation model. Getting, sir? Getting now. Let's come to this CD basic chatbot post for CD chatbot. We are coming to the directory in which we have created that LLM. Okay. So now let's try running this and see if there is some syntax error, right? So Python LLM.py. No module named .env. Perform.env. Everything correct. Like let's do pip list. Oh, sir. First, we need to activate the virtual environment, right? So, command for this is got it, because we have installed these packages or libraries where in that private room. Do you remember? So we need to first activate the virtual environment. So remember, before running the Python code, you need to activate the environment. Okay, activate this way. That's why I want to keep the videos natural. Getting what happens? Okay, virtual environment is one step back in the chatbot. See, it is in the chatbot. We need to come one step back. Now let's run. See, now the virtual environment is activated. Then we will come to CD basic chatbot. Now let's run it. So no syntax error, but no output. Why no output? Why no output? Because we have just created a client to connect to the foundation model. Have we called that function outside? Getting, just we have created that function, right? But we have not called it, right? So for calling that, we'll be creating another file is here. Let's basic chatbot.py. So LLM is a module. LLM.py is a module. Getting, from that I will import what I will import, get LLM. Getting. So let's create a function. How we create a function? By writing first definition, right? So basic chatbot, got it, like that, colon, and we'll just enter indentation. Here indentation is very important, right? In Java we used to do curly braces and enter and like to look beautiful, but here we don't write here curly braces, we give indentation. Okay, so just before the parent you need to give some indentation tab, then come to here. Okay, you should install some of these extensions like Python. For Python, some extensions you need to install. After that, this indentation will come automatically, or some Visual Studio automatically also does it for Python. Okay, now what we need to do is LLM to get LLM. What we are doing here? We are calling this function. We are calling this function, and this function will return a client. Client will return, right, to connect to the foundation model. The foundation model, right? Now let's see what is the user question. The user question is, say, what is LangChain? Let's see, this is your query. Okay. What will we do? Do LLM dot invoke the question. Getting? Now, when we do this, it will return a response object. What it will do? It will return a response object. Okay. So now what we'll do is just print response dot int. Getting? Now what we will do? If name equal to name, don't worry, I will explain this part. First I will run, then I will start. Equal to, not single equal, right? Not assigning, I'm checking. Yes, we will be calling this run. What is this? Sometime I'll explain. First let me run this and see whether the correct response or not. Then I will explain this part. Python chatbot what right. Um, so see, here is the output, right? So similarly, we can send here different questions and it will give the different response. You see here, I asked, user can ask here question like what is LangChain, and here is the response. Here is the response, right? If you want to do something like you can do here your question on your question to rerun it. That is, I allowing you to write question by yourself. What is this AI? How it will accept the question and send it to that using this client. It will send it in this client. It will send your question. See, we wrote the question. What is AI? It is AI, and that question it is handing it over to the client, and the client is going to that foundation model. It is getting the response. Okay, and it is returning. And here we have the response. Okay. So if you want to see what is this actually this response object, just print here the response also, right? The response. What is this response? Okay. What is this Gen AI? See, This is the response object. See, this is how the response. This is the response that is returned by the LLM foundation model. Getting this the one. So from there we are taking the content part. Here we are taking the content part. So if you want to like kind of understand this, what you can do is you can just copy down. See the content part right? You can just copy the JSON response and come to JSON schema validator. Validator. And you can kind of paste it. I printed some extra character. So what you can do through this JSON schema, what you can do, you can kind of pick this complete JSON file. Okay, complete JSON file, like from where it's starting. Okay, from where it is starting, you can take that JSON response, put it here in JSON schema, and you can like see like what all the fields are there in that, right? Now you would be thinking, what is this? Name is equal to name. Why did I not directly write the main function? Like here also exists a main function like main function in Java. Okay, so main method. So here also, why I didn't write direct basic chatbot? Why this name is equal to name? See, what is this? Let me tell you. First, understand this name is a Python special variable. Getting now when you run Python chatbot, what is the file name? Basic chatbot.py. Okay, then this name variable will store main. Okay, we'll have value as main, and according to that value, when it gets true, it will run the basic chatbot. Just 2 seconds, otherwise the laptop will switch off. So got it? What is name? Name is a Python special variable, and when you run Python basic chatbot.py, then this name variable will store main. Okay, and when this will store main, then this condition will become true, and it will run basic chatbot. Okay, now suppose there is another file, okay, named basic transcript.py. Okay, there you import this module. Okay, so and run that file. Okay, that is what you do is python chatbot basic transcript.py. You run transcript.py.run, and in this transcript py, sorry, this basic transcript. I know it may not be getting, I will give you a practical example so you understand. Py, you have imported module basic chatbot. Okay. But even though you have imported basic chatbot module, but this function won't run. Why? Why? Because in that when the name will be main, we may not have called the basic chatbot. Let me make you clear. I know this may have become a little bit complex for you. Let me explain to you what will happen. So what I do, let's suppose I create function find dance find dance in LLM.py. Okay. And I print here the dance. Okay. Now don't worry, you'll understand here. Now if I do here main equal to right main, okay, done, print, then call this dance. If name equal to name, then call this dance. Right. Now you see when I will run this function, python llm.py, see this dance will get printed. Dance will get printed. Less dance with output will come. See, less dance output came, right? But you see this same module, this same module LLM.py, I'm also importing it here. But I will run, but it won't come. Now you would be thinking from this LLM I'm importing just this. Okay, let's go by your way. I will import the complete module for you. And here what I will do, LLM dot, right? LLM dot get, right? LLM dot get. And let's create as a new variable like LLM client. LLM. Okay, so it's ready, right? And let's see now whether it comes runs whether now that dance gets printed or not, right? As you said, I have imported this LLM also. Correct. Correct, I imported that module, not importing that function. Okay. Let's see that whether that less than outcome output comes or not. Why? Because I have imported LLM. Okay, so that function should write run when this LLM gets loaded here, then that function should run, right? According to you. So that's one question. Let's write what node less dance game, right? It just gave response about cricket, right? So getting what I mean to say, when you write this thing, the benefit of this is, suppose you want to run a function only when you run this file. Okay, like you want to run a function then only when you run this file. But you let me you want then function to run automatically only when you explicitly run this thing. Then we use the verb tag, right? Like we run Python basic chatbot.py get seen the dance and don't get added. Hitting. We want to call this function, we want to call this function, but only when this file is run. And how we are deciding, getting to know whether this file has been done or not, like it has been run in this root module or not. How? Via this, in this condition. Yeah. So if this file is run, that is python llm.py, python python llm.py, then only and thing. That's all for today. Could I kind of just give you an overview like how we create a basic chatbot, right? How we are creating a client to connect to the foundation model. We send it our request and got the response, right? And you can just go through this response. Okay, this one response.json. Okay, this one is the metadata. Then expand and check content part is this, right? So you can just go through this response, and in this content is the output. Okay, in this content is the actual output. Okay, so that's all for today. Again,